Jumping right into the MLB, Brett. Now, your baseball bet last week did lose, so you're down to a 9-3 record, but you're still red hot overall, I'd say, Brett. What do you think of this Monday look of a spread that we got?
Yeah, to be fair, Higgins, we kind of warned people. We didn't really love that baseball slate on Thursday, but it's okay. I took a shot. It didn't pay out. It was a high-scoring game. 25 runs were scored in the game I bet on. So, you take a shot in the dark, and when 25 runs are scored, the
It's
starting
anyone's guess.
pitchers, yeah, the starting pitchers didn't really have too much of an effect on that one. But I'm going to look at this Oakland A's Tampa Bay Rays game. The Rays actually had my guy Luis Patino out there on the mound on Sunday. And Luis Patino, cool fact, Higgins, became the first player in Rays history to be younger than the franchise, to play for the franchise. So that's a fun fact there. Luis Patino, born in 99. The Rays, founded in 98. So there you go. Luis Patino's only known baseball with the Rays. He played for the Rays on Sunday. The A's had won 13 straight, lose on Sunday. I think they bounce back on Monday versus Rich Hill, assuming Sean Manaea is on the mound for them. I think that's a big pitching advantage for Oakland. Oakland's bats have been better. Oakland's bullpen's been better, even with the injury problems. So I'm taking Oakland minus 115 on the money line. Or, excuse me, minus 118 on the money line with those pitchers locked in.
Okay. Interesting little factoid you got there of the player that's younger than the Rays franchise. I like that you threw that right in there.
Yeah, it
Interesting
was
pick
fun.
between the Rays and the A's here.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun, neat stat when I saw it. I don't know, fact, stat. What do you want to call
It's
that?
a little factoid, I'd say.
Fun
It's a little
fact, fun
fact.
fact. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, Brett, one of my picks in the MLB this Monday is a really low over under set at 6.5 on Sunday night between the Marlins and the Brewers. Now, granted, if you look at so far how these two teams have performed against the over under, it makes sense. Both of them are hitting their unders a lot more than they're hitting their overs. Milwaukee's hitting 12 unders to 7 overs, and Miami's hitting 10 unders to 8 overs. Each of those have a few pushes as well. But 6.5 is really low, especially when you look at how these two teams played on Sunday. The Brewers scored 6 runs. Miami scored 3. These aren't teams that are getting shut out. They're scoring multiple runs. They're putting up a couple at least. 6.5's too low, especially with who's on the mound. You got Trevor Rogers on one side, apparently. You got Colton Burns on the other side, who both of these pitchers have played really well so far. But there's the question of the bubble. Is it going to burst on any of them? Doesn't really need to burst that bad to hit an over 6.5 here. So I'm taking the over.
Yeah, that is a no play for me, sir. You've mentioned Rogers and Corbin Burns. They've been fantastic this year. Both of them strikeout machines, although I guess kind of everyone in Major League Baseball is a strikeout machine this year. Corbin Burns climbing up the Cy Young charts. Rogers, definitely a name to watch out in the future. I want to say Trevor Rogers. It's confusing
Yes,
because there's
it's
a
Trevor
Taylor
Rogers.
Rogers in Minnesota, and there's like a Tyler Rogers in San Francisco. Someone's got to name their kid like Chris Rogers. Like, mix it up a little bit. We can't have Tyler, Taylor, and Trevor out there all pitching in orange uniforms.
I agree. Trevor Rogers versus Corbin Burns, obviously, it makes sense that the over-under is going to be set so low. But these aren't necessarily established names. These are guys having a spectacular start to their season. Could they have a blow-up round against each other? Absolutely. 6.5 is just too low for me for an over-under in baseball.
Fair
These
enough,
days, it's too
Higgins.
it's too low.
I mean, look, I don't know how deep Rogers is going to go into the game. Burns is obviously on Cy Young pace, so
Hmm.
all bets are off with him. But yeah, we'll see what happens in that one. A game I'm looking forward to between an NL East team and an NL Central team, Phillies Cardinals. Zach Wheeler and Adam Wainwright are not Trevor Rogers and Corbin Burns, but they're decent pitchers in their own right. Wainwright struggled a bunch this year. Wheeler has been a little up and down. But I'm taking the Phillies in this one, Higgins. Bryce Harper's been on a tear this season. Not enough people are talking about how good he's been. And I think they have the advantage in the pitching matchup as well. So I'm taking Phillies minus 110 on the money line.
Okay, St. Louis, they're the fourth best team against the spread, so I wouldn't necessarily take Philly on the run line. I do like that pick on the money line, though, because you're right. The Phillies have played really well, especially with Bryce Harper. Harper may not have been getting the recognition yet, but it's only a matter of time. It's a long season. He's gonna start getting talked about more and more, I think.
Well, and to be fair, Ronald Acuna Jr. was setting the world on fire. My guy Akil Badeau deserved
Mm-hmm.
all the attention week one. There's a lot of great stories. Jacob DeGrom right now, Corbin Burns, who we already spoke about, Shohei
Tatis.
Ohtani. Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, Shohei Ohtani's hitting bombs and reaching 100 miles per hour. Jacob DeGrom batting 500, throwing 100 miles per
Helping
hour.
his own
So,
cause.
some pitchers who can hit here, Higgins.
Yes, there are, absolutely. One more MLB game, though, before we get out of here, Brett. The Seattle Mariners are traveling to Houston to face off against the Astros, starting off their series on Monday, and Seattle is still the best team against the run line so far in baseball at 17-5. So give me them plus 1.5 at minus 135 in a small ballpark like Houston is, especially when you look at it. Justice Sheffield versus Jose Urquidy. So you got two pitchers on the mound that it's built to be more of a hitter's game anyway. So as long as Seattle can keep up with Houston, I think they can personally. I don't see why plus 1.5 isn't within the realm, and that's why there's the minus 135 juice. But go ahead and give me that juice.
All right, fair enough. Why not take it? You say they're covering all the time, Higgins, so it sounds like they should have no problem covering on Monday.